Welcome back to another edition of the Miles High Club, where I make picks for the whole week. We are going into week 2. I can't believe football's back. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for all the support. If you're new, we're picking all the money line picks for the week. Hopefully we can get them all right. Hopefully we can make some money this week with you guys. Last week we did go 10-6. It's good, not great. We want to do better than that, but I like where we started. Like I said, I want to try to get over 200 correct for the whole year. Let's do it. But before we get into the picks, you got to pay the bills. Go to Game Face Grooming if you haven't already. Go get yourself some body wash. I mean, some of y'all stink, myself included. Not here. Don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, it's coconut scented, and we already lather up with the cocoa butter. Why not double lather up? So let's get into the picks. I'm super excited to be back here. First game of the week, the Green Bay Packers versus the Commanders. Both teams looked all right, but the Packers, man, that defense looks real. Michael Parsons there, that defense looks real. It looks really real. So I like the Packers to beat the Commanders this week. First for the Thursday Night Football game. That Michael Parsons probably gonna play more time. Jaden Daniels, Deebo Samuel looked good too though, but I got the Green Bay Packers winning here. Next we got the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, and it's a tailgate weekend. I live in Baltimore. If you're new to this, I go to the tailgates. Come hit me up, Lot H. We have a great time. But this is Joe Flacco's first return back to Baltimore in a Cleveland Browns uniform, which is absolutely disgusting when you actually think about it, being in Baltimore for him. But I hope the fans treat him well. He was elite when he was here. That's what they say, was Joe elite. Joe was elite when you actually think about it. The way he's playing now, I'm calling Joe elite. He is. But I got the Ravens beating the Cleveland Browns pretty handily this week. It's going to get ugly. They just lost to the Bills by 1 point. They're not giving up a lead to the Browns. The next pick, this one was a tough one. The Jaguars versus the Bengals. Two big cats. The Tiger King will be happy about this game. But I believe in the Jaguars this year. But I also believe in the Bengals this year. And this game is going to be tough. The way the Bengals played last week against the Browns looked terrible. But I can't pick against Joe Burrow right now. I think they're going to win. It's going to be an ugly match. I think the Panthers were not a great matchup for the Jaguars. I think the Panthers are less of a opponent than the actual Browns are, which is a crazy statement to say, even because people love Bryce Young right now. I think the Bengals are going to beat the Jaguars here. So that's a toss-up game. It's home for the Bengals, so that's why I'm picking the Bengals really. But then the New York Giants versus Dallas. Dallas looked great against the Eagles. Let's be honest here. No Michael Parsons, all the off the field drama. I thought it was going to be a big deal, but they looked great against the Cowboys. I mean, if they a couple plays here and there, they could have definitely won that game. But Giants just, whew. Abdul Carter again got chipped down by a wide receiver. What's going on? Abdul, I mean, you were the second overall pick, third overall pick, whatever the pick was, third overall pick. You're looking suspect. I hope you show up, but I do believe in the Giants defensive line. I think the Giants defensive line just by themselves going to win them 4 or 5 games just because how good they are. But I do think the Dallas Cowboys are going to get the win here. I think George Pickens is going to have a day. I'm just saying, he's going to have a day. And then the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions look terrible. They looked terrible last week. It is the first week with the new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. I still don't believe in Caleb Williams, even though he had a decent day yesterday or whatever day that was earlier this week on Monday Night Football. I don't believe in him. I got the Lions beating the Chicago Bears here. Not much to being said there. And then you got the Dolphins versus the Patriots. The Tua looked awful last week. I mean, I think the Colts are better than people are thinking. So I think that's where I think people are like, oh, the Dolphins suck. Well, I think the Colts are going to be better than people are actually thinking. So I do think the Dolphins beat the Patriots here. I just don't believe in Drake May. I don't. I seen Tua do it, so like I know it's out there. I don't believe in the Patriots. Nothing against them. I don't know if Christian Gonzalez is going to be playing this game, but if he is, things could change. But I do think the Miami Dolphins do beat the New England Patriots. And then next is the 49ers versus the Saints. This is the easy one. Even though Brock Purdy's a little hurt, George Kittle's a little hurt, CMC's a little hurt. I mean, the 49ers are just a little hurt everywhere they go. But Saints, like I said last week, I don't think I'm going to be picking them to win a game this year. So I'm taking the 49ers to beat the Saints. Just simple math, nothing much to it. I have no word. Even if they have to play Mac Jones for the backup, I don't see it. I just think the Saints are just not. They're all right. Don't get me wrong. They look pretty decent against the Cardinals. Cardinals and like nah. Even though I believe in the Cardinals, but I just don't think the Saints are that good. I'm just being honest. So I'm picking it, even though it's at in this what is it, their dome, Superdome down in New Orleans. I like the 49ers here. So 49ers get the W against the Saints. Next, Bills versus Jets. Justin Fields looked pretty good. He looked very good, I should say. I mean, the Steelers and the Jets game was a great game. No one expected that high scoring of a game, but that was a good game. I was excited to watch that one. I I do I do like the Bills to to beat the Jets. It scares me because are we going to get the Bills in the first half, the second half of the last week's game? I do think the Ravens are a lot better than the Jets. So like I'm contemplating something, but I think the Jets are decent. Jets are decent. They gave a lot of life to a lot of Jets fans, I bet. Brandon, now you're probably happy to see what Justin Fields did yesterday or on Sunday. But yeah, I take the Bills here, beating the Jets. The Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're their team. They have a lot of pieces. Like I said last week, I just don't believe in Sam Darnold and the way Aaron Rodgers played last week. I just can't. I'm not. I have to pick the Steelers. I have to. Aaron Rodgers was balling out there. I mean, what a week. What a week for Aaron Rodgers. 4 tutties the first week. I mean, I do think that Seattle Seahawks defense is better than the Jets personally, but I just don't believe in Sam Darnold with the Seahawks. I think Sam Darnold, I think Sam Darnold should just be on the Vikings. Even though J.J. McCarthy looked pretty decent in the fourth quarter of the last week's game against the terrible Bears, but I got to take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Seahawks. Then we got the L.A. Rams versus the Titans. The Titans played us well. I mean, I think the Broncos played way down to the competition level. No disrespect to the Titans, because I think the Titans defense is elite. Like the Rams. This is going to be I think the Titans are going to play a lot of close games this year because their defense is really good and their offensive line is decent. Even though the Broncos got 6 sacks, I think their team and their offensive line, their weapons, they're decent. I think you got to realize that the Broncos might be the number 1 defense in the NFL this year. So I really do like the Titans this year. Just like, winning 7 games, 8 games, improvement from last year. But I got the Rams. Beating the Titans. Matthew Stafford looked decent. I mean, Puka Nacua is going to have a day. Devontae Adams probably going to have a day. Like, the one corner, I can't remember the name on the Titans, he had a lot of penalties. And that's the big thing about the Titans. They didn't have a lot of penalties against us. I would have been nervous because we got away with a lot of stuff. Not away with it because it wasn't actual calls, but it was an ugly game for us if you watch that game. But I do take the Rams here. Cardinals versus Panthers. I'm a believer of the Cardinals this year. I know they didn't look they looked against the Saints. I have to pick the Cardinals over the Panthers. I just don't. There's just teams in the NFL right now that the Panthers are one of them. The Saints are one of them. I mean, honestly, that NFC South is tough. I just people that believe in them, it's just why? What has what have they shown you yet? So I do take the Cardinals beating the Panthers here, and I think it's gonna. I think this one's actually gonna show. You're gonna see the Cardinals have a day. You're gonna have probably over 30 points. It's gonna look ugly for the Panthers again, just like last week against the Jaguars. Kansas City versus Philly, a rematch of the Super Bowl. I mean, the Chiefs didn't look great. I think personally the Eagles didn't look that great, even though I think both teams are going to be good. You know, they're both trying to make the playoffs. Like, I don't worry about that, but they did look. Week 1 was a little rusty for both of them, and you know, there was that Super Bowl hangover stuff that people talk about. But only reason I'm picking these guys is because they lost in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs don't lose back-to-back games to the same team. They don't. Andy Reid is too good of a head coach, and I just don't know. I think Jalen Carter, him missing that made the Eagles defense a little worse. Jalen Carter's an idiot for spitting on Dak Prescott, even though Dak Prescott did spit towards him. Whatever, don't be dumb. Use your head, kid. Use your head. You're better than that. You know you already had off-field issues coming into the NFL. Like, don't prove people wrong. Don't prove people right. You know, so just focus up, Jalen Carter. Even though I hate the Eagles, I'm just trying to give this is a man speaking to another man or a young man trying to live his life and trying to become an adult here. So don't be stupid. Don't spit on people. But I do take the Chiefs beating the Philadelphia Eagles because the Chiefs are at home. And I don't think they're gonna lose two times in a row. And then Atlanta versus Minnesota. Both of this game's going to be a good one. It's a Sunday night football game. I think they set this up pretty well. I think we were watching J.J. McCarthy twice in 1 week on primetime. I think they want him to get recognition because they want to figure out, is he him or is he not? So J.J. McCarthy, I think he will step up to the pressure again, and I think they do beat the Falcons. I think Bijan Robinson's going to have a day. I really do. I really, because like DeAndre Swift did all right, and Bijan Robinson is way better than DeAndre Swift. So I do think it's gonna be a good game, just like last week against the Bears for them. But I think these are lower bottom feeder teams. I think that so. But I got the Minnesota because they're at home versus the Atlanta Falcons, and then Tampa Bay versus Houston. This is gonna be a good one. Houston looked okay against the Rams. I mean, they only scored like 9 points. So, like, yeah, are they great? Probably not that great. But I like the Buccaneers. That Ibuka guy, Ohio State, I played him in like 4 of my fantasy leagues, and like it was ugly. He scored like 20-something points. It's just so sad that he did that to us. But whatever. Fantasy football is a long year for fantasy football. We're talking about picks here, but I got the Bucks. Beating the Texans. Texans starting off the year 0-2. It would be devastating, I think, to the franchise, just because the way that the other teams in the division are playing, it's going to get ugly for the Texans. Even though I picked the Texans to be in the playoffs this year, I think they're going to go 0-2 start, and then they're going to start playing teams that are a little bit less than them. Their schedule's weak just because of the division. But I think the Buccaneers are going to beat the Houston Texans. And this one, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Chargers. This one is a divisional game. You know, my division as well. So it's I want it. I don't think the Raiders are good because I just don't believe Nick Wright actually thinks that this team is going to be in the playoffs, and I don't. Me and Nick Wright will never get along, probably. I mean, let's be honest here. So I like the Chargers beating the Las Vegas Raiders. The way that Justin Herbert looked last week against the Chiefs, he looked like that $250 million quarterback. You know, the guy that got paid all this money to ball out. It's probably his best game ever in his NFL career. So I do like him to ball out here. But yeah, so I take the Chargers over the Raiders. And certainly, last but never ever least, it's your boys versus the Colts. Danny Dimes looked great last week. I told you guys that I think Danny Dimes will be starting the rest of the year as long as there's no injury. Anthony Richardson has lost his job there. Everyone thinking, oh, they can go back there. No, no, no. Anthony Richardson lost the locker room, lost the team. I honestly would think that the Anthony Richardson should try to get traded to the Saints and try to uplift that franchise. The New Orleans Saints will love that down there. A big running back, big quarterback that can run. It would be big for them. But I think Danny Dimes is going to ball this year, and I'm excited for him. But we're going to bring him back down to earth a little bit. We got the number one defense in NFL. We got 6 sacks against the Tennessee Titans, and all I'm really worried about is Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren, we're historically bad at guarding tight ends, and Tyler Warren is one of them. We play Tyler Warren, Brock Bowers, and Travis Kelce. We played Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. We've always played great tight ends like Darren Wall, like these guys. We just are not good at guarding them. So I'm hoping this is the year we finally step up and do something cool and maybe shut down Tyler Warren. But I got the Denver Broncos getting a W here. Pretty easy. Brock Bo Nix looked you know what I mean? He did have a couple good drives in there, but the 3 turnovers, man. Got to clean that up. He's trying to be a hero. I think they're trying to make him play outside of what he was last year, and I think he's just going to grow as a quarterback. I think he needed this. He had the end of the year so well last year, but he's gonna step up. And Cortland Sutton looked decent. I mean, another 1,000-yard year. I have a docket. I have it checked. You know what I mean? But it's enough of me talking. Welcome to the Miles High Club. Got a couple of Miller lattes down. You guys, I love you guys. Thank you for support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a nice one.